Hello guys, what's happening people? Welcome to the Culturist platform. So this is going to be the first video upload of 2020 right at the end of the year. I think we're on the 30th of December here. So it is going to be a state of the collection video. So this is my personal watch collection, guys. It's 20 watches in total. You probably can't all see them here in the camera, but let me just take you around. I assure you there is 20 pieces here. Apologies for the aesthetical look of this. I've kind of just taken them all off the watch pillows and the watch cases. Just to make it a bit easier to get through 20 watches. Obviously, I wanted to make the video as short as possible because you don't want to be going through like a half an hour video of me talking about watches. So just to make it a bit easier, I've taken them all off the watch pillows just to get through them a bit faster. So yeah, a bit of background about myself and the Culturist platform before we start. So I've been collecting watches now for about a year and a half to 2 years or so. I've been into watches for as long as I can remember. A bit of a novice or a rookie when I first started off, still am. Just kind of learning as I go along. Started building up my collection, like I said, in the last year and a half to 2 years or so. And started off the Culturist platform with a couple of friends. I want to say about March time onwards when the pandemic kind of hit the UK. Started off with an Instagram page. If you get a chance, please go and check that out, guys, at The Culturist. Uploading pictures, started connecting with fellow watch enthusiasts and watch collectors from all around the world, and it's been a fantastic experience. Sharing my watches, viewing other people's pages, and having great conversations with people from all around the world. So this collection, it's not massively expensive. It's not going to break the bank. You don't need to remortgage your house for it. A couple of extra shifts at work, a bit of overtime, swapping some restaurant meals for home cooked meals or the soup kitchen even, and you can get this collection. It's obviously not inexpensive. There is obviously expense here, but you know, it's something that's definitely obtainable. If you are new to collecting or just kind of a watch fan, you know, when you start purchasing watches, don't try and break the bank for them. Don't try and go for the higher ticket items. If it's out of reach, just go with what you like. There is definitely good watches at all price points. I stand by that. Kind of go with what your heart speaks, or, you know, what speaks out to you, what you like the look of, what works well for you. But do your research, guys. I can't stress that enough. Do your research before you pull the trigger on any watches. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So I'm going to go through the watches one by one. So let's get started. Okay, so yeah, apologies for the lighting here. It is the middle of the night, apologies if it's not the greatest of light. And I'm filming this on my phone, so hopefully it's all right for you guys to see what I need you to see. So let's start with this one, as you do. So this particular piece probably doesn't need any introduction. This is the Tudor GMT Pepsi. So it's the GMT. You've got the blue and red dial, the famous blue and red dial. So Tudor, as many of you guys will probably know, is the sister company to Rolex. It's been in Rolex's shadow for as long as I can remember. Started to grow out of its own shadow. Not its own shadow, how'd you grow out of your own shadow? It's grown out of Rolex's shadow and kind of made a household name for itself of recent with the Black Bay editions, specifically the Black Bay 58 and this particular watch, which is the GMT Pepsi. I think this watch won the Baselworld Award back in 2019, and rightly so. It's a phenomenal piece. So movement-wise, it's an in-house Tudor movement. It's the 5652, which is based off the old ETA movement. So what Tudor did is kind of took the ETA movement, brought it in-house, refined it a bit, and made it their own. And they've done a fantastic job with it. 200 meters water resistance, 42 meters case size, 22 lug width. And it's a 70-hour power reserve, guys. Let me just stress that again, 70 hours, which is phenomenal. So I can testify that that is the case. I've wore this on a Friday, taken it off for the weekend, put it back on a Monday, and it's still working. High beat function. And like I said, Tudor's just done a phenomenal job with the movement. And it's kind of built Tudor's brand at the moment with their in-house movements being so good. They have not kind of scrimped or scraped on production of this watch. Good high quality ticket items. So I purchased this for myself. It's probably the highest ticket item in my collection. Purchased it for my birthday as a present to myself, as you do. I was looking for like a high quality watch, and there was only going to be one winner in the budget that I had in mind, and I'm so happy I pulled the trigger with this one. Snowflake hands, Sorry about the lighting here, guys. So snowflake hands, as you can see, and then you've got these white indicils running all the way around. It's great lume. So at night, this really does shine well. Got a deep black dial and the Tudor logo there, and on the crown, so you've got the rose logo on the crown. 3 o'clock date window, and it's obviously the GMT movement, so that red hand allows you to set multiple time zones, which obviously I've not had the chance to do right now because kind of stuck in the UK with the pandemic going on. So if I unscrew the crown as such, you are one click and you can see that, which is an independent hour hand. So you can manually set the hour without moving the minute hand, which is another phenomenal thing from Tudor. And it's so great. It's refined movement, works really well. You can see with the crown, it's just a really good mechanism. So it's a stationary bezel, doesn't move, and you've got the ridges kind of going all the way along. Stainless steel, polished on the outsides and brushed on the insides, brush band all the way through. I'm not usually a watch strap guy, usually like the leather straps, but this you have to keep it on the strap because it's just a really good quality strap. Then you've got the Tudor kind of signage on the clasp and also on the top there. On the inside, it's not an open back display, but you've got the Tudor kind of signature going all the way across. Really solid watch, great build quality, really happy to have that one in the collection. Okay, moving on. So this is, okay, a bit of background about this. So as a lot of you guys will know, when you start collecting watches, you kind of get a vintage bug for a while. So you want to purchase a vintage watch. And I didn't know anything about vintage watches, and I kind of pulled the trigger on this. First thing that I seen that took my fancy. Didn't do any research, and I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that, but I don't regret it because it's a fantastic piece anyway. So this is a collaboration between Zenith and I want to say Soria, or Soria. I'm going to go with Soria. Apologies if it's incorrect, and you can correct me later. So yeah, what I found out later is obviously, well, Zenith doesn't need any introduction. Swiss powerhouse company when it comes to watches. Soria was a company, I think it's still going now, based in some way or form in the Swiss trucking industry. So they collaborated around the 1940s. I want to say circa 1945 because of the movement. So this is a caliber 106 movement. So it's the famous caliber 106 Zenith movement. Power reserve on this is 38 hours, and it's a great movement, guys, for a vintage watch. So it's hand winding. So if you can hear that click, it sounds sensational. You kind of hand wind it when you want to put it on, wind it all the way up until the point of resistance, and then on the bezel, if you can see, on the dial, terrible focus in here. On the dial, you've got this secondary kind of smaller inner dial, which has the seconds hand, and you can see that moving around after I've started winding it up. So the dial itself, you really need to see this in person, guys. I don't think any camera can do it justice, but it is a really impressive dial. It's like a two-tone patina dial. So it's a kind of bronze and a kind of brush kind of gold background. And then in the middle, you've got this quite large, intrusive Zenith Soria logo, which is bronze and blue. Kind of looks like a Buddhist temple. And then you've got like the Arabic numerals running all the way across. Really simple, apart from this quite of intrusive logo in the middle, which just kind of gives it a bit of pop. And then you've got a 3 o'clock crown position, very small crown, but very workable. It's got good movement to kind of wind it up. Wears very small. I think it's a 34mm case size, 18 on the lugs. And I've kind of just put it on a new kind of silicone black rubber strap just to add a bit of something to it. Very minimal back. You've got some numbering on the back. And yeah, it wears very small. Obviously, you kind of expect that with a vintage watch. Don't regret this whatsoever. Really happy to have this into the collection. It's just a good overall vintage piece. Okay. Moving on, so this piece, so this has been my latest purchase, and I've got to say, guys, I think it's my favorite one so far. I have been after this watch for as long as I can remember. So this is the Aureus Big Crown Pro Pilot, a bit of a mouthful, automatic. And it's one of those watches where I just wanted to add it to the collection for as long as possible. Didn't pull the trigger on it because I couldn't find a good deal. Recently found a good deal, and I was really, really, really happy to add this, guys. So what can I say about this? It's the most impressive, unimpressive watch, and I mean that in the best way. So there is nothing stand out about this watch in terms of its aesthetical appearance. It's a very bland dial. It's black with white lettering, white Arabic numerals going all the way across, and this kind of loomed white hands. And yeah, that's about it. But it's just so impressive for what it does, because to the untrained eye, it would probably look quite unimpressive. And then if you have somebody, with a fashion watch, a Gucci or an Armani or even a Boss or something, people will be talking about that and they won't be talking about this. But to the trained eye, it's a phenomenal watch. This is an in-house movement again. It's the Aura 751, based on the old Sotc SW220. So the Sotc SW20 is obviously a renowned movement. Aura's kind of brought it in-house, as Tudor did with theirs, rebranded it a bit, and they made a phenomenal watch. So it's an open back display on the back, and you can see the Big Crown Pro Pilot is stamped on there. Swiss made, stainless steel, 100 meters of water resistance, so not great. And then on the inside, you've got 26 jewels written, and then it's the numbering on there. Doesn't I think somewhere on the inside you've got stamped on there the 751, but it is the 751 movement. So so this is an aviation pilot's watch. So I think the guys at Oris, it would have been great to kind of be a fly on the wall in the meeting room when they were designing this one, because they've got the Aquis range and a couple of other ranges which are really bold and out there with colours and design specs, and then the guys must have just sat down with this and just said, how can we make something which is just bland as you get but serves purpose? And they came up with this, and I'm really happy that they did. So it's an aviation watch, so what they wanted to do was make something which had great legibility, which it does, and easily able to use and quality made. So you've got the Big Crown, which is not as big as they kind of specify. If you're going to go with the name Big Crown Pro Pilot, you expect this to be bigger, but it is definitely functionable. So the kind of theory behind it was, or the ethos behind it was, pilots with gloves can kind of operate the crown really easily and change time zones as they move from place to place, with easy legibility. It's got great lume on there, and on the tip, if you can see there, just very slight kind of red marking, which works really well. The rest of it is very plain. The bezel is something that needs talking about. So again, it's a stationary bezel, but you've got these kind of angled grooves that go all the way around. Brushed stainless all the way across. They didn't bother with any polishing on there, but it looks great. And then you've got this kind of anti-reflective domed sapphire crystal on there, which works really well because it really adds to legibility. But with lighting on there, as you can see, it's still not the most legible watch that you can get, but it does work very, very well. So really impressed with this. Like I said, I mean, if I was going on holidays or anywhere, I was off for a couple of days, I would definitely take this with me, because it will just do as you would require it to do. Works really well, great movement. You've got a quality watch, but there won't be a million eyes on it, which is I kind of guess that's what you'd want from a watch kind of thing. I've put it on a new strap, so I do really, really like the suede strap that it comes with. But the one that I received wasn't in great nick, so I changed it off to this kind of weaved nylon strap in beige, and I think it works really well with that. Flip around, and you've got the open back case display, and I think that looks phenomenal. So yeah, really, really happy to add this. It's my first Aurus, and in my opinion, it's one of the best ones that they produce. Okay, moving on. So the next one we have, we'll go with this one. Okay, so this is the Frederic Constant. So this is another Swiss company, Swiss made. So Frederic Constant's kind of a newbie into the game. A lot of people kind of link it with Vacheron, but it's nowhere near that kind of spec. Even though the names might sound quite similar, but it's not. But it's a Great watch, great build quality and great ethos behind it. I watched a video on Frederic Constant not too long ago, and he had a great ethos where he was just trying to produce quality watches at an affordable price point and to try and push the barriers in terms of what they can include. And that's kind of exactly what he's done with this one. It's got a lot to it. So you've got your day date, so you've got an independent day and an independent date there. You've got your Roman numerals. There is a GMT function on this, but I don't know how to use it. And then you've also got a moon face, which I think is phenomenal to kind of get all of that into one dial. So this was my dress watch pickup. Kind of was looking at a dress watch for more formal occasions and work and things. And I think this just works phenomenally well. It's a quartz movement. It's in-house. It's FC270, I believe. 20 meters width size on the lug to lug. And it's a 6 ATM water resistance, which God knows what 6 ATM is. I believe that's about 60 meters water resistance. So yeah, guys, I won't do much with this at all. You probably couldn't even shed a tear on it. Don't take it anywhere near water whatsoever. But white enamel on the inside. It's sapphire crystal, and I've kept it on the original strap. And I think this is a phenomenal watch, so really happy to add this one. Right, so that's moving on to the next one. We have this one. So this is the first Seiko piece that I'm showing you guys. It's the Presage Cocktail Time. So I think this is another great example. It's another dress watch of mine. So this is a Cocktail Time piece. The Presage line is a phenomenal line. They've got great watches all across all of the Presages. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Automatic movement. I think the reference on this is SRP, C99. It's the 4R35 movement, which is a good, well-renowned Seiko movement. 23 joules on there. Water resistance is 50 meters. So again, don't do much with this near water. Stainless steel. It's the dome hardlex crystal. So it's not sapphire crystal, but you can kind of accept that for what else you're getting with this watch. You've got this really really nice touch here, which is like a needle kind of thread, second hand. I think that's a really good attention to detail. The dial is just amazing, guys. It's a sunburst dial that kind of starts in the middle and shoots off in every direction. And again, I don't think the camera's going to do this justice, but it just pops from every angle. Really, really, really nice. Day date window, signed S on the crown, and open back display. Sorry about the focus in here, guys. And I've kept it on the original strap, so this is a really good one piece to add. Really happy with that one. Okay, moving on. So this is the second Seiko in the collection, which is the turtle. So this is the Save the Ocean limited edition turtle. So the reference on this one is SRPD 21 2019 edition. It's an in-house movement, and it's the upgraded 4R36. So we've seen the 4R35 on the Presage. This is the 4R36. You've got this really, really, really nice wave pattern that runs all the way through, and a shark fin or two, just to add to the kind of design feature. Kind of looks like an artwork portrait. It's kind of meant to represent a harsh sea tide. So yeah, I don't know if I really get that with it, but it just looks phenomenal anyway. The bezel is really, really nice. Great alignment, great clicking action. It's 120 click. It kind of looks like the Batman colors. So you've got it's blue, and I want to say it's a dark gray. It's not really black, but it's a nice dark gray. 4 o'clock round, divides opinion. I like it. I think it's phenomenal. And then you've got the day date window, and I've stuck it on a blue leather strap because I never really like the stainless steel straps that Seiko produce. I think that's something that really lets them down. But this watch really, really suits the blue strap, also I've been told. I think it wears really well. It is a larger case size. It's 45 millimeters case size, and it's 22 lug width, but it wears very, very, very well. Great lume on there. 200 meters of water resistance, and then you've got the signed limited edition. This is the Prospects range on the back. So yeah, another really, really, really good watch. Okay, moving on to its younger brother, which is this one here, which is the Seiko Mini Paddy Turtle. Second Pepsi bezel one that I've got here. Again, 120 click. The bezel's not as smooth on this one as you get with the Save the Turtle model. You've got the wave pattern going all the way across, and you've got a really nice red second hand in there. Cyclops window, guys. I really like it. Divides opinion. A lot of people thought Seiko shouldn't have added it on there. It should be a Rolex thing only. Obviously, a couple of other watches do that, but I think it's a great addition. It's really nice to have a Cyclops window on there. I think it looks great on the watch. 3 o'clock crown position, so they've gone back to their old 3 o'clock crown on this one. The reference on this one is SPR C41, and it's a 4R35 movement. So this is the same movement on the Presage, but interestingly, they didn't go with the 4R36 that you get on the Save the Ocean model. Where smaller, it is the Mini, but it's just slightly smaller. It's 42 millimeters case size, 13 millimeters on thickness, and 43 millimeters lug to lug. 20 on the lug width, and I've kept it on the original Seiko kind of silicone strap, which is a really high quality strap. They've kind of upgraded it. On the inside, it's well done, and you've got a nice Seiko signed clasp on there. Again, the special edition Seiko back. Really good watch. Happy to have this one as well. Okay, moving on to the next one. So this is the second to last Seiko that I've got in the collection. Got a few Seikos, obviously you can tell I'm a Seiko fan. This is the Sport Aura range. Didn't really know too much about this one. A business partner, a business colleague of mine had one. He raved about it, and I fell in love with the one that he had. And I wanted to add one to the collection, and I was really happy to kind of get this one. It's a fantastic watch. So the Sport Aura is a discontinued line, so it's quite hard getting hold of these, but they are available. Another friend of mine found one recently. He did a fantastic job finding one. So you can get them. This one specifically is the Pilot Aviation Edition. So if you're looking for this one specifically, again, it's a little bit harder to find. But yeah, so happy to add this one to the collection. It is a quartz movement chrono, and it's the 7026, I believe, which is another good movement. It's a one-turn multi-directional bezel, and it's the rotary slide rule bezel. So you've got kind of all sorts of different calculations that I'm never ever going to use for, I guess, pilots. But yeah, it just looks really cool. On the inside, you've got the minute hand, and you've got an alarm system. Again, never been used. If I push the stopwatch function, you can see the stopwatch hand moves there, and you've got a really nice detail of a pilot's kind of plane that goes across. Really nice crown with crown guards, and I put it on a black leather strap, and I think it works really well. So yeah, really happy to have this one again into the collection. Okay, moving on. What have we got next? This one doesn't need much introduction, but yeah, it's the Hammy. So this is the Hamilton Khaki King. I believe it's the field watch, even though it doesn't look like a field watch, but it is officially named as a field watch. So as you can see, it reflects a lot. So apologies for that. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. That's a bit better. So this is the day date one. So yeah, really happy to pick this up. My only Hamilton in the collection, and I'm really happy to have this one. Love the fact that you've got the actual specific day and then the date on there. I think that's just great. Never seen it on another watch. And I think it's something unique to the Hamilton range. I think it looks great. Then you've got your Arabic numerals that run all the way across, and then a 24-hour one that runs on the inside of the bezel. Then you've got these really nice like rule feature that runs all the way across. Crown with crown guard, 3 o'clock position. Great movement, this, guys. I think the one thing that you've got to rave home about with this one is the movement. It's a Hamilton H40 in-house movement based off the ETA 2428 Swiss move. The phenomenal thing about this movement is the power reserve is 80 hours. So that is, I mean, high-end Rolexes, a lot of them aren't reaching 80 hours. So that is well done for Hamilton for that. So, you know, 3-4 days out of this one, no problem. Keep ticking. Open back case, displays that phenomenal movement in there. Wears very well. Kept it on the original stainless steel polished strap. The one qualm I've got with this one is I don't know why they went with a polished bezel. It's a scratch magnet. I wish they kind of would have kept it brushed everywhere. But, you know, for what else you're getting with this watch, you can't really complain too much. Okay, moving on to the next one. What we got up next? This one is The Citizen Eco Drive, again, great watch, great looking watch. It's the Pilot Aviation Edition. It's Eco Drive movement, so it is based off the sun and reserved kind of lighting. So you can put this under, I don't know why the focus is going like that, but you can put it under a lighting system at night under your lamp, and it will tick across. It's a very nice looking watch. So this is a Blue Angels one specifically, based on the Blue Angels flight demonstration squadron. It's the Eco Drive B877 movement. So first and only Citizen in the collection, and it's a great looking watch. I don't think this one will be going anywhere soon. This is quite a new purchase. So this is the Yema Superman. So I was again really intrigued by this watch for quite a long time, and happy to kind of put this into the collection. It's a quartz movement. It's the Ronda 515 FE. This is their heritage line, I believe. French watch. Looks phenomenal. Not too happy with it though. Bezel looks great. You've got these nice indicals on the inside, and the green is the loom. I believe it's C3 loom, so it's a really high quality loom, and it does light up very well. Day date window, you've got this crown at the 3 o'clock position, and then this extension here, if you can see, which you have to kind of knock out for the bezel to move. The extension and the crown, they don't seem the greatest quality, and they kind of do dig into your hand a little bit. 990 feet water resistance, so that's really impressive. It's 300 meters. I'm never going to go diving with them anyway, but yeah, it is very impressive. And I put it on another nylon green weave strap, similar to the one that I've got on the Oris. But I don't know what it is about this. I don't think it's not what I expected. I don't think the build quality is great on there. The Ronda movement is obviously decent, but it's not as I expected. So I don't know how long I'm going to keep this one for, guys. Okay, moving on. We're nearly through this collection now. So next one is this one, which is the Mundane Big Date Evo 2. So this is based off the Swiss Railway clock, and it's the official partner of the Swiss Railway clock. I don't know why it needs an official partner, but there you go, it is. So if you've ever been to Switzerland, I've not been myself, but from what I know, there's all the Swiss Railway clocks look like this. It is phenomenal. It's a really nice legible design. You've got the kind of, it looks like a railway track that runs all the way through, black markers on the white background with this red ticking hand. Really nice, simple, and you've got this large kind of date function with a signed crown on there. Yeah, not much you can say about this watch. It's a nice watch. It's another Ronda movement, but it's the 519, so it's a bit of a lesser version of the one in the Yema. But you know, for the price point, you can't really complain. Sapphire crystal, pressed case back, looks really good. Okay, then this is the final Seiko in the collection. It's again, this doesn't need much of an introduction. The famous Seiko 5 field watch. Really nice watch at this price point. Great quality, great automatic movement, and yeah, really happy to have this one in the collection. Okay, nearly through. So actually, sorry, I tell a lie. There is one more Seiko in the collection. This is a really special piece for me, guys. This is my father's watch. So obviously this is the most cherished watch in the collection for me. Don't know too much about it, but it's just obviously very special because it is my dad's watch. It's a vintage Seiko quartz, and I think it looks so impressive. You've got this brickwork effect that runs through the dial and also carries on along the strap. It wears very well. I've got a small wrist, but yeah, it wears really well for a vintage piece, and obviously this will never ever go anywhere, and I'm really happy to have this. Obviously reminds me of my dad every time I put it on. You've got the really nice interesting old Seiko logo. I think the Grand Seiko also adopted this, or the King Seiko adopted it, and it's a really nice piece, so really happy to have this. Okay, then we have my only Orient in the collection. Don't know too much about this one. Purchased it off Amazon because I just love the blue dial on there. It's not the Mako, it's not the Ray, but I'm not sure which range or what the reference is on this one, or even what movements in there, but it's just a really well made piece, as you would expect from Orient, which has kind of taken over Seiko as a bit more of a budget range, with great movement and great build quality. Yeah, and this is a really nice watch. Aesthetically, looks really good. Okay, so last three I'm going to review all together. which are the G-Shocks. So obviously, as a kid, had a massive liking to G-Shocks, as many of you guys did. So really happy to add them as I got older. So this one is the first one that I got. I've got this upside down, as you do. So yeah, so this is more kind of a robust traditional Seiko. Black dial, just looks the part, and these are the two new Casio Oak ones that are obviously based off the AP Royal Oak range. Look great. The yellow one is obviously quite sought after. I think they've been re-released a couple of times, so you can get hold of them. And the green one, don't see it around too much, but I was really happy to add that to the collection. Yeah, and sorry, there is one final watch which we'll get out of the way now. So this is a World War II homage piece. Don't know too much about this one, but I just love the look of it. So really happy to add this. And I've kind of got it on a leather strap, kind of refined leather strap. So yeah, this one just really simple dial, looks really good, and yeah, it's been working fine so far. Okay, so that is the collection, guys. Really hope you you like this video. I'm going to be doing detailed reviews of these watches, obviously. I did want to keep this kind of under half an hour, but it's gone slightly over. But yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope it was interesting for you. I'm going to be doing more detailed reviews of the watches piece by piece. But yeah, I think that's it from me, guys. Take care. Bye.